has put 4 lengths on them here with a dazzling turn of foot. Impreatriz. Buckler's in second spot from Tabby Mac. The monetisation running on late, and so too is Darcy Lavella. But have a look at her go. Impreatriz absolutely bolted in.
Impreatriz, eh? At the Fox Rouge Plate of the weekend. Killed them in the end there, really. Obviously, we're back here, 3 to Pigs. I should give it a bit more energy when I start these off, I think. How are you, Harry? Harry's back?
Mate, I'm always good. I'm back. I'm in bed. I've been doing my homework this week, actually, on the Tarzino trophy.
Big weekend coming up with the Tarzino, obviously. Massive. How'd you go on the punt last weekend?
I went better than the first week we talked about it. I think I had 2 clicks compared to the previous week's 1. So onwards and upwards, mate. Onwards and upwards.
Always onwards and upwards. I had a couple. I didn't have many bets. I had a bet on my tip that I put out. We'll talk about that one in a minute. And I had a wee cheeky one on Zaki, Harry. I am gonna say I went against you. I did have a wee cheeky one on Zaki, but I didn't have much more. And I stayed away from those pesky 8Bs at the moment. So I only had a couple bets, had 1 win, 1 second. Oh, Zaki got first. That was
seconds.
the win.
No. Yeah.
No, one 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th or 9th. Didn't like the wet track. And then obviously the first was Zaki. So
it was good punting from you, mate.
Why don't we talk about some pretty terrible tips we gave out in the end? Well, terrible, no.
Well, actually, hold on. Hold your horses, mate. Hold your horses. Mine wasn't terrible. My one was a winner. So if you listen to me, bet smart, you'd be rich right now. I had 2 boxing line rounds of the weekend, mate. 2.
Well, place.
I went each way.
You had backed it to place. You were claiming the win, though, weren't you? No?
Yeah.
Just say that again, Colbert.
I said if Zaki falls over, then Ice Bath would have won. So that's why I went each way on it.
Fair, very fair, but unfortunately, Zaki doesn't fall over that much or get shot very often. So, Ice Bath for a place. Yes, good bet. Boogie Dancer. Just missed the jump, I guess. Just got a little bit too far back. Looked like it had the speed to be out there with the front runners, but on the day just wasn't close enough to them to actually kick on and through. So that was a bit disappointing for me. Liam's tip that he put out, Cheezel got second, I believe, as well. So we'll take 2 seconds in a don't ask me about it. So I think for week 1 back, we're still a little bit rusty here at 3 to Pigs. HQs, we haven't got the cleaning crew in yet, so I guess we better tip out some more winners starting this week. We've got a big one this week, actually. Tarzino Trophy.
It's a big one. Yeah.
Tarzino Trophy.
It's always a big one, mate. It's a Saturday.
Tarzino Trophy over the years has been one of the greats, I reckon, with horses like Melody Bell, Avantage, coming out of it. Obviously, we saw a couple years back, last year, Cool Sign Mav, horses like Ocean Park have done it in the past. Tavistock, like the further back we go, Excellent, Sea Change. Like, these are decent bloody horses. Throwing a bit of Mufasa in there as well. You can see why this is such a decent race. Throughout the years, it has been some pretty short favourites in it as well. which is pretty interesting to see. I saw a tweet today that at $1.50, Impreatriz is very short for this race. $1.50. Do you? I think it's too short, Harry. Will you be having a punt on Impreatriz at $1.50?
No, there's no chance I'll be punting on at $1.50, mate. I might as well go and give my coin to the kids down the road. There's no point in doing that. Got to find some value in the race, and there is plenty of value in the race as well, which we'll probably get to, I'm sure. But yeah,
Well,
plenty more value.
Do you think that at this $1.50, it is actually underpriced for this class of race? Like, yes, it is a little bit of a weaker field than we have seen in previous years. Thinking back to Avantage, Callsign Mav, all of those horses that were in it a couple of years ago. Do you think this is a bit of a weaker field comparatively enough to make it $1.50, or is $1.50 just too short, full stop?
I just think it's too short. Yeah, I think there'll be a couple horses that might give a bit of trouble. Yeah, I'm quietly confident in a couple other horses.
Yeah, I think after seeing how it ran the other day and the differences in track that Hastings will bring compared to Rapa, it'll be interesting to see how that affects the running of this race, which will go ahead at 4:28 on Saturday. Obviously ran over the 1400, so it's a shorter distance race. They're going to be going full tit. It'll be impressive to watch. I love spring racing.
Don't we all, mate? We all love it. So get round the old couch with a couple of beers, mate, and cheer on your favourite horse. Nothing better.
4:28. How many beers are gone at 4:28?
Oh, that's a good question, mate. Yeah, that's an absolute corker of a question, that one. Depends what time you start. Do you start having beers as soon as the first race starts, or do you wait till a couple of races before the Tarzino? It just depends how you planned out your afternoon.
So nothing on during the day, right?
Yeah.
Except today is the day for the Tarzino. How many beers you think, shit, Tarzino's on a bit later, I'll sit down and have a couple beers? Does that mean you've gone to the bottle store right at opening at 10 o'clock in the morning and said, hey, fuck it, Tarzino's on today, I'm going to make a bit of money, buy a slab, lime brown preferably, and just come in, rip raw hard? Are you 6 down then? You've had, as well as this, okay, context, you bought your beers night before, had a couple watching the league. Race 1 and 2, you've got your bonus backs. Race 3, you've had a punt, but it's got 5th. So you're out of your bonus back. Race 4, there's one that you like, so you have put the money on it, and it's come in. Race 5, ran good. You picked up the Quinella. Race 6, another winner. You're half of your pot up. Race 7, you've gone big on your big tip of the day, and it's come home. How many beers are you through now? This context at 4:28 p.m. on a Saturday.
A dozen. Definitely
a dozen.
4 o'clock. Yeah, 4:30. It's gonna be a dozen. Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll be backing.
If you're gonna be cracking open.
So you'll be backing Green Luck for a win. Ryan Elliott and Paul Harris on the training front, 61s and 650, just for a laugh.
No, I won't be backing that one. Actually, no, I've got a couple lined up.
Well, how about you tell me a little bit about that, Harry? Because I've actually, funny you say that, I've got the TAB up right now.
Now we're getting serious.
I thought we'd do something a little bit different with the show today, and we'll actually go through a few of the runners, look at the few of the lead-up races, and pick out some of the key form that we see coming through that is impressive that we think you guys should be looking at to pick it right. So I think starting off, should we hit the $1.50 shot?
May as well. We got to get him over and done with, mate. Let's get him done.
So obviously last start we saw it in the Foxbridge. I'll bring that up again. I think it is important to start off with the Foxbridge probably. Just because we know we've seen it last week. George Simon, shut up. I'm trying to talk. Just because we saw it last weekend and how this race has played out will give us a good indication of how this race this weekend will play out. Obviously, we do have a few different ones in the field. Obviously, with Crique coming into this race, we don't have any horses like Darcy Labella and Ballon Rouge in this race. But a few key ones that are in this race is Demonetization, Rose and Power, Impreatriz. They're all in this race on Saturday. So if we watch Impreatriz come quite wide here, coming down the straight, it's obviously found that it's that bit of grass. Doesn't look very cut up. It's obviously been able to get the kick, cut through the grass, and has shown how strong this horse is. So I do think it is probably a true favourite in this race, but I don't think Impreatriz is necessarily a $1.50 shot on this race. I think something closer to it, $1.80 to $2.10 would be better money and more appropriate money for this horse. It's obvious that the money has probably come on after this past race in the futures markets and things like that to push it down to this. But I do think it's a true favourite. I just don't know if $1.50 is right. What did you think of its run in the Foxbridge?
Mate, I think, mate, you summed it up very well. It just kind of came into the home turn and it found that sweet spot on the outside. And then it just really showed its class coming to the home straight. And to be fair, none of them really looked like getting close to him, to be honest. It was, as soon as we got out in front here, it was all over. And yeah, it'd be nice to see something give him a challenge this weekend.
Yeah,
hopefully.
and I think that one horse, well, everyone probably knows that one horse is Crique. Seeing what that horse has done has been pretty good in its past trial and things like that. Obviously, leading up before this race, the two big horses in the Tarzino are Crique and Impreatriz. Fucking hell. Can't remember names for shit. They've kind of avoided each other in their runs. Crique went to the Derby, got second, and then Impreatriz has gone to the Breeders and taken out those two against better, if not the same level horses. So I think that Crique at $4 is great value. But just before we move on to talking about him and his trials coming up, I just wanted to touch on a horse that we talked a little bit about last week as well. That's also in this race, Rose and Power here on the inside. So at this point of the day, that inside is quite cut up. It's quite hard to run on for the horses. So you're never going to get the great speed that Impreatriz is getting on this far outside from the inside rail here. But it has went to the lead at the start, has been competitive with these horses. So I think at the $5.50 quote you're getting for a place, Rose and Power is a strong bet here. Top four, you're getting $3. Have a try. Because Rose and Power in this race did not run a bad race. It came through, did its job, and there were no arguments about it. So I think Rose and Power shouldn't be left out of this conversation because the only other horse that it was behind was Demonetization, which is also in this race. But Demonetization is carrying top weight in this race, the 59s.
Yeah.
Rose and Power is carrying 57, which is still less than Impreatriz, which I find kind of funny, actually. Impreatriz is carrying 56.5. Anyway.
Is that Mr. Opie Boston on board though as well?
Mm.
The one and only?
One and only Opie Blossom's on the back. I do think place bet Rose and Powell. What do you reckon about it, Harry?
Yeah, I like Rose and Power as well. I kind of went a little bit different. I went Demonetization for a place. Just like what it did in the Foxbridge the other week as well. It got a wee place in that race too, didn't it?
Yes, I believe it was a third. So
yeah, so I think coming off a good race in the Foxbridge plate, hopefully can go one better and get second would be nice. But there's the other big horse in the race will probably end up getting second.
Well, if you take out the horses that aren't in this race, so Butler and Darcy Labella. The top three were Impreatriz, Demonetization, then Rose and Power. So I think at that top three, at that top four for Rose and Power, it's $3. I'd be getting on that for if you're looking for a place bet. That's what I'd be getting on. Impreatriz, yes, it should be a true favorite. It is winning these races very, very well. But there is another victim to come in this race. Another slayer, which we are going to take a wee look at now. La Crique. What do you like about La Crique?
Well, like you were saying before about how it hasn't raced against Impreatriz, it's a little bit like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. And they've just been avoiding each other for so long. Now they're just finally going to meet up and it's going to be a battle. I think La Crique, I'm probably going to have a little bit of money on La Crique to win. When you showed me this trial, I thought, wow, this is a bit of a superstar.
Let's talk a little bit about the trial, actually, because there are a few big name horses actually in this trial. We have horses like Aegon, Dark Destroyers somewhere in this mix, who's also in this race. If you listen to this commentary, it's a who's of New Zealand racing. Ballad Rouge, Dark Destroyer, as I said. Ocean Billy, Auckland Cup winner. So this is a decent trial. La Crique's here out in front, and it's just cuddled up. If you watch the jockey's hands on the reins, he's got them quite close to him, which means he's not really letting the horse down, running to go. Aegon just at the back here, the green and white, is not doing much. But La Crique out in front here, 2 lengths, 2.5, wins it by not really riding it hard. Strolls through the line and has avoided Impreatriz on its way through. As we said, he's gone to the Derby. He's got second in that behind Asterix. He's gone to the Avondale Guineas. He won the Avondale Guineas the start of the year and won the Desert Gold Stakes as well. So he is at about the same level as Impreatriz as in accolades. They just haven't faced each other. And I think this will be a big test to actually show who's better.
Yeah. Just like the Warriors and Titans last week, mate. It's going to come down to the final whistle.
The final whistle. What, on both of those teams?
Yeah.
Coming in the top 8 ever?
Yeah, well, that's not likely to happen, is it really? Let's be honest.
I think this is actually just going to be a really, really interesting race to watch on the weekend. And other horses that I'd be looking at would be Dark Destroyer, like we said, coming out of that trial, that strong trial, finished reasonably well. Demonetization, again for a place, but I think the Quinella probably will be Impreatriz and La Crique. What's your tip for this race, Harry?
Well, I've changed my mind since last week. Last week I said Helena Baby was going to place. Now this week I'm going to stick with the monetization to place. I mean, I'm too scared to say the Creek's going to upset Impreatriz, so I'm just going to be a little bit safer, and I'm going to say monetization to place.
Sweet. I'm going to play the place game as well, I think. I want to see La Crique get up. I want to see Impreatriz get beaten. But I'm going to go away from both of those two, and I'm going to say Rose and Power for a place. I really liked how strong its run was in the Foxbridge the other day, and you're getting decent money for it. So hopefully that will come
Take it
through for us. Should we move somewhere else? Should we go have a look at a couple other races, talk about some horses, do the usual?
Yeah.
Yeah,
mate. Take me away from Buddy Hastings. Take me away.
Take you away from Hastings. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Ruakaka?
Let's go to Ruakaka, mate.
What do you reckon?
Where Ruakaka is.
What do you reckon is? Do you have a racetrack that you punt at that you're just like, fuck, I'm never going to win a race here?
Probably maybe our pony. Actually, yeah. Not sure why. I don't think I just don't really like it.
You hate the poon.
I do. Yeah.
Harry hates the poon. Fuck. I reckon mine is actually post Pikey, Ascot. Because after Pikey's gone, he's gone east. I don't think I've been able to pick a winner at Ascot. And I think the only winners I ever picked were Pikey, to be fair. But I just can't pick them anymore. And when you're betting at Ascot, you are inherently 10 to 12 beers deep because it's at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. You're betting in race 4 at Ascot, betting on the $2 favourite to win, and it comes fucking second. Oh, fuck.
That was a little bit all too real for you on that snap.
Yes. The amount of times I've been like up and late night Ascot or Toowoomba or where else? Bendigo Dogs or Dapdo Dogs or fuck wherever else. Broome. You name it, I'll punt it. But
Mount Smart.
Yeah. Mount Smart, ANZ Stadium. What's that stadium called in Buenos Aires with the fences? Augustine Creevy Stadium.
Dear.
But anyway, let's get back to some actual winning punts. Who do you like this weekend, Harry?
So I think my best bet this week was Ruakaka, race 8, and number 12, Kiambella. It's a little bit of a roughie. It's a little bit rough.
$8 and 2.8.
Rough, but yeah, that's the one. And I was kind of having a look at the favourites, and they hadn't really had the greatest good track form. And I had a look at Kiambella, and I was kind of I quite liked it. I like the look of it.
So it's one of the only horses that are like
that's a winner.
Yeah, broken maiden in this race.
Yeah.
That's because I had it backwards. Like all these top runners have broken maiden. Actually, that's my bad. But your one's above these ones. 12, Carambella here. The other favourites have never. This one's never run on a good track. Never run on a good track. Never run on a good track. So these horses they haven't had many starts. They are young, wet. They're running the wet in the winter. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong here, Harry.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be silly. I'm not going to get on it, go each way. I'm just going to go on the nose. I'm going to back myself here with my pick this week. I'm going to go on the nose. $8 or $8.50, whatever it is. $8.
How many Lion Browns are you putting? How many
Yeah,
Lion Browns are you putting on the nose of this one?
How many Lime Browns would it be? Yeah, I'd go quarter of a box.
Quarter of a box. So what's that?
Yeah.
4, 5, 4 Lion Browns.
Yeah.
The Lion Brown
Nice
exchange.
one, mate.
The Lion Brown exchange rate at the moment is a good market to be in, actually.
Mate, they are going up in price.
What did you say the other day? $23 for a box of low bros.
No, mate, it's gone up to 29.
Oh, no way. 29 for a box of low bros.
Yeah, I brought one last weekend, mate, and ripped the bank account in half.
Wait,
Yeah.
where did you buy this from?
Liquorland Rickerton. Don't go there.
You're getting robbed. You're getting robbed blind. No, 440s? 440s.
No, 230 cans, mate. No, not 440s.
They were 440s?
No, they weren't.
Oh, fuck. Nah, that's poor form. The Lion Brown scale is off the charts at the moment, actually. There's 18 in a Lion Brown. It's $30. Do the math. How many Lion Browns he'll be putting on that one this weekend? That is number 12. Kai, you say it, Harry. You say it.
Kiambella.
That's in race 8 at Ruakaka this weekend. I've gone for one in Australia. I have gone to race number 7 at Rosehill here. Yeah, I've gone for a favourite. Look, I had a shocker last week. I can admit that. Well, it wasn't a shocker. The form read true. I just want one that's a little bit safer. All right. Don't fucking judge me. But I'm going J-Mac on the back. The J-Mac attack is back. Best of Bordeaux, race number 7 at Rosehill. It's $3.50 and $1.45 for a place. Just coming back from a spell last start. Second up, has only done it once and won there. It's come through the Golden Slipper. Second in that, first in the Silver Slipper. If this track gets a little bit wet, we should be we should be pretty good here. But also, if it doesn't get wet, good track form is good as well. I think this is a good up and coming horse that we will see for a very long time. Mine is Best of Bordeaux in race number 7. The other horses in the race, yes, they are good horses. This one here is good, but hasn't come out of as strong of a race. It has come out of the San Domenico, which was the same as Best of Bordeaux. This one here got second in that race. Best of Bordeaux got 5th. Again, in the secret, came out of the Silver Shadow. Is that the same race? No. Different races, actually. But same sort of deal. We are seeing J-Mac on the back at 57. Decent weight in this race for this field. Starting where it is, ticks all my boxes. I'll be going on Best of Bordeaux. I'll be putting half a box of Lion Browns on it. I've got to make that difference between the $8 and the $3.50 go through.
Yeah, true.
So I've got it. I've just got to do it, man. So any closing words? Any closing thoughts?
Just like to wish Latrell Mitchell and the Bunnies the best of luck this weekend. My favourite rugby league player of all time. In the first round of the playoffs this week against the Roosters. Yeah, go well, Bunnies.
There's actually a horse going around this weekend
Or
called Fafita. I don't know where it was. I saw it when I was looking through the form. And there's a horse called Fafita racing. And I thought, I've got to run this up to Harry. We've talked about the Titans versus the Warriors. But how about David Fafita versus
the field
versus a heap of racehorses? What do you think about that? I don't know. I can't find it now.
Well,
I'm trying to close the show.
You've got the wrong Fafita.
David Fafita, back at it again. Obviously, Tarzino Trophy, massive this weekend. We'll be getting around it. We'll be loving it. What's your tip in the Tarzino again, Harry?
It was demonetization. Oh, I can't say it anymore. Demonetization for a place.
Demonetization for a place. I like Rose and Power for a place as well. Probably a top 4. Who's going to win it? Who wins?
I'm gonna say the Crique.
The Crique. I think Impreatriz. I'm gonna go Impreatriz. Yeah, I don't really. I can see the Crique beating it, but will it happen? I'm not too sure. Best bets. The one and all we really care about anyway. Who's your one?
Kiambella, number 12, race stayed at Ruakaka. Pay $8, get round it.
And I'm on Best of Bordeaux, race number 7 at Rosehill. J-Mac on the back. How good. We've been through the pigs. Any closing words, Harry?
Nah, mate, we're all good now. Go Nate Diaz.
Go Nate Diaz. Go the Bunnies. J-Mac on board. See you later.